So, as some of you may know, my poll has ended where I asked if you wanted written posts or videos on the next book that I want to do like a review information on type deal. Sorry if my hair is weird. I just finished braiding it and I just noticed my braids are, oops, yeah. Anyway, so I will be doing both. I will let you know personally in the beginning of each video which ones will also have a written post along with, and I will write the written posts when I'm done making the videos. So like for this first part, like part 1 of the book, I'm going to make the videos, and then when I'm done with the videos, I will write the written posts that I have with certain parts of the videos that I think where you would need both a written and a video for. If there is a part in any of the parts that you want a written post that I didn't write a post about, let me know in the comments of that video, and I will be more than happy to write a written post at the end of all the videos for you. So the book that I have is called TWUTreeMagick, a Wiccan's Guide and Grimoire to Magic Spells, Tree Magic, etc. It's by Lisa Chamberlain, and it's probably the second favorite type book that I have, because it involves nature magic, which is my most favorite type of magic that I like to use. And tree magic for me is something every witch should learn, because trees play a huge part in our pagan traditions. So one of the reasons why I love talking about tree magic is because I live in the Boundary Waters area, and unless you're not an outdoors person, don't come up here. The Boundary Waters is in northern Minnesota, so we're like 2 hours away from the Canadian border, so our winters are 30 below freezing, so it's cold. So I hate winters up here, but we have like, skiing, hiking, kayaking, canoeing. Like, we're in Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes, even though I'm pretty sure we have much more than 10,000 lakes. So I love being surrounded by nature. I always remembered going out in the woods growing up and just being in the silence of nature, being around the trees, and feeling protected. So I don't know how many videos I will have. I know I said that for part 1 I will have 3 videos. Well, that's actually not going to happen, as I started reviewing the books and writing down in my trusted notebook of multiple things. That's how I write all the posts that you see. I write them in this notebook. Information that I've skimmed through other information. So like I have my main BOS type book. This is my 4th one, where I already went through the book and I wrote down all the information that I found necessary. But when I'm doing posts for you guys, I skim through not only the information that I wrote down, like I highlighted in my Kindle, but also in the unlighted parts, I may write stuff from there that, while I don't find interesting enough to know, it might be interesting for you guys. So that's what I did here. So this first video is going to be an intro to the entire book, and I'm going to talk about everything that you will find in this book. So for the part 1, I will be talking about trees' histories and what trees are used for. So like the tools that are commonly used, what type of trees are really popular that people like to use a lot, what type of trees might be better for certain things, unless that's in part 2. I can't remember if it's in part 1 or part 2. You know, like birch is good for healing. So if you have like a birch wand, you would primarily use it for healing because the birch is associated with healing. So then in the second part, I will talk about the 13 magical trees in paganism. And the 13 magical trees are trees that every witch should try to learn. I know birch, rowan, elder, oak, holly, yew, hawthorn, maybe pine. I can't remember. I know at least 7 of the 13 trees, so that's a little good. And these trees actually make up an ancient calendar that the Celts, I don't know how you would pronounce that word. I like to say Celts, made. So, for a brief introduction, the magical energy of trees can be felt wherever they grow. So, even if you live in the desert, there are trees that grow there. Cacti would be considered trees. And so, if you live in a deserty area, like the trees that I'll be talking about, or that is talked about in this book, are trees that are found in North America and Canada. They are coniferous, or coniferous, or I don't know how to pronounce it, deciduous, evergreens. They're the distant cousins of the European trees that our pagan ancestors were more accustomed to. So if you live in the desert, definitely look into trees that grow there, and you can do research on that yourself. So the best way to feel this powerful energy is to tune into their silent, graceful presence. Trees have been partners to humanity's well-being since the beginning of human existence, both on the physical and spiritual levels. So on the physical level, that would be the lumber to make a home, fuel to keep warm, the fruits and the nuts for food, and even medicinal. So, like the bark, the leaves, the fruits, and even the resin or sap can be made into oils. So, like, if you're like me, I use a lot of oils. I actually have 2 big boxes. They sell them in Walmart now in the essential oil section. So if you have a Walmart, they have an essential oil section. Look there and you should see like a big box where you can hold 32 essential oils, and I have one filled up, and then I have one half filled. So I spend a lot on essential oils. And one of my favorite essential oils that I don't really use as much, but I love the smell, is cedar wood, because it comes from the cedar tree. So for spiritual benefits, that's just, sitting near or being around trees, you will see a decrease of stress levels, increase memory, and improved focus, as well as better emotional health. So scientists have recently discovered in Asia, I want to say it's actually South Korea or Japan, or maybe both, they have found that if they send their workers into the forest or like near like a park or somewhere where there's a bunch of trees, and they stay there for a day or two, they will have better functions and they will work better. This is something that our pagan ancestors already knew and already practiced. So that's why I love living literally surrounded by a forest, because I get that on a daily basis. But when I do move in the future to a city, I do hope to move to South Korea, to Seoul, I won't really be surrounded around trees, so I definitely want to invest in essential oils that, like are birch, pine, oak, like all these essential oils that are made from trees, to like give me that sense of nostalgia of home. So working consciously with these energies to shape the conditions of our lives is one way of practicing the ancient art of magic. Trees are the most diverse natural sources of magical ingredients, such as bark, leaves, nuts, fruits, incense, oils, and even mineral stones. So I know the book said that there's some stones that come from certain trees. I can't remember, and I didn't write it down. But there are stones that do come from trees. You can also accomplish magical energies just by sitting at the base of a tree and attuning to its majestic presence. Some say you can achieve this by simply gazing at a picture of a tree. So if there's like a type of tree that's your favorite, for me that is birch. I'll talk more about that in part 2. And I'm talking about the trees when I get to the section of birch. Just having a picture of that tree is said to release endorphins in your brain to make you feel happy, relaxed, and protected. So this book has 3 parts. So that is why there's like so much information that is written, that if you guys had picked for just a full written post, that would take an extremely long time, and the posts would either be super long, or they would be, the normal length of my post, but there would be like probably around 50 of them, just based on the entirety of very important information in this book that I'm trying to condense for you guys. This is definitely a book that, if you guys are able to buy it, I would definitely buy it, because of all the stuff that you can do with trees. So in part 1, we'll explore the magical significance of trees to our pagan ancestors, as well as the contemporary practice of Wicca, which draws on these older traditions. Part 2 offers advice for foraging and deepening a personal connection with the trees around you. You will also find the profiles of the 13 magical trees, which will include their history, lore, energetic properties, and their magical uses. So like how I said that birch is for healing, that's one of like the healing trees, that would be one of their magical uses. Part 3 contains an arboreal grimoire of sorts. So that includes spells, rituals, meditations, and recipes. I know you're not supposed to ask for spells, and so I won't write down the spells. Unless that is okay, then I will definitely write in written posts and talk about, or at least, no, I will write them down in a written post. However, in the videos, I will talk about like all the spells that they give and what you can use them for, so you can do research on themselves. But I will definitely talk and write about the rituals, meditations, and the recipes that you can use for them. Much of the lore about tree magic found in contemporary Wiccan and other neo-pagan practices has been handed down from the European pagan tradition. So like when people from the European countries came over to America, they shared their traditions orally and then written down through generations. So, as such, since modern sources of tree magic are focused on species native to Europe, we will talk again about the trees found in North America and Canada. These trees featured here can be considered cousins to their European counterparts. So I already said that again. So that is the end of this video. It is a little bit longer. It's 16 minutes long. I will try to make all the videos around 15 minutes long if I can. Some might be a little bit longer depending on the ton of information on them. So with that, I hope you find knowledge, guidance, insight, and inspiration on your journey in the videos that follows. And I hope you enjoy and settle in to the videos. So blessed be, and one of my favorite mantras to say right now is to keep calm and witch on. This is Wolf Singer ending the very first video. Hope you enjoy.